Welcome back to Up to Something Outdoors. Today, follow along with me as I turn this free boat into cash. That's right, I'm going to flip this antique 1960s boat into cash. Follow along. If you look, I think this might be free. Free, 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 free. And then on this side, free, free. And over there is two more frees. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say they're saying it's free. There you have it, hooked up. Let's get on the road back home, see if we can make some money. Comment below, how much do you think we can make on this free boat? So we successfully made it home, no issues, thankfully. Let's take a quick look around, see what we have here. One thing I noticed, besides all the free labels, is look how many registration stickers there's been. All the way since 1980. And then 83, 86, 89, 92. They skipped a year here. 3 years, because Michigan has 3-year registration. So besides a year here, it's been registered pretty much continually since 1980. I think that's pretty cool. Now inside the boat, she's a little rough. Kind of to be expected though on a free boat. And we have the old Chrysler drive from the 60s. Some people call them the white leg of death. However, I will say almost everyone who I've had, well, who I've talked to who's had one of these, has said that they like them. Most of the negative comments seem like it comes from people who don't actually own one. Old OMC 4-cylinder, looks like it's missing a few pieces and parts. Again, not too bad. One thing that caught my eye though, was look at that classic dash panel. Is that not Art Deco looking? Mid-century modern? That is neat. So to start off, we're going to take the steering arm off. It's a little bit more external visible than the Mer Cruisers and such. A little clunkier design, but we'll get it off. Two ways. If this is broke, which a lot of them are, including mine right here, you just have to take this bolt off. Otherwise, there's two 1/2-inch bolts here, here, and here that do have nuts on the backside. So get yourself a flat box end wrench, slide it back in there, spin it off. Next, we're going to take these two bolts off here. They're 9/16. They're not torqued down overly much on mine. I have had some in the past that are torqued down pretty good, but generally not anything stupendously crazy. Despite the weird looks of these are actually remarkably simple to take apart compared to some, especially the Volvos. The Volvos are a pain. This one's a very simple design. Take that bracket off. Repeat on the other side, right here. Helps if you move the drive out of your way again. Now take these two off. Now once you start doing these, the outdrive is going to come off. So take one or the other of them off. And then, you're going to get a lot of grease on your hands too, but whatever. Hold up the outdrive a little bit, give it a little support while you take this last one off. And then you simply slide it out here. This is the gear cables for the tilt and trim. Again, everything on this drive is very external. It's a very visible system. Now we'll have this cable to remove right here. So that wire comes out, or in rather, from here up into this wiring harness here. Goes over here, so you can disconnect it, the whole harness. I'm going to take this apart and see which one it is. So I disconnected the wire from the inside, and now I'm just going to draw it through, right like that. It had this clip and this wire that went further into it. This was already broke off, so it worked out for my case. But there you have it. These are remarkably simple drives to take off. Really, it's just the 2 bolts here and here that are holding these collars on, and the steering arm and the cable. Next up, we're going to take the engine off. This one has these bolts right here, and over there. It has 4 mounting points, unlike the Mercruiser, which only has 2. Each of the 4 mounting points has 4 lag bolts in them. Let's take them off. Some of these lag bolts are really, really old. I'm going to take the one out back here. Look at it. All the threads are rusted off. Next, we're going to take this boot off. It's held on by screws all the way around. It's a piece of aluminum on top of the rubber boot. Goes all the way around the outdrive there. I find a screwdriver helps here to pry this off because it can be on pretty tight. It's been on for many years. So I'll just pop it off, work it out above the drive. First, take this piece of aluminum off. That's the frame, of course, that goes around this gasket. Now, this is why it's called the white leg of death. See how much space there is between that rubber gasket? It's almost 2 inches all the way around that outdrive. All the way around, good 2 inches there. That is why if you get a hole in it, it starts leaking, and you're going to have problems. Now that we have the engine out, it's a lot easier to tell whether or not it has cracks in it. This side looks pretty good. We'll walk around the transom assembly here. Look at this side, and there we have it. A big red rusty crack line. Yep, that block's cracked. But underneath here, the manifold doesn't look bad. The exhaust manifold doesn't seem like it has any cracks. So it likely can be reused. It makes it so much easier when they're up in the air versus in the boat to find that. But that takes all the value out of this. It went from being a couple $100 motor to probably 50 bucks. Now this transom assembly probably still has some value. Block, not so much. There's still a few good things on it, like the distributor, starter, things like that could still be useful. But other than that, done. Here's a better look from the inside about how big this hole is.
Hi!
This cutout's almost twice the surface area, the size, as a Mercruiser is. You can see how if it had a leak, you're going to sink quick. Lot more area for water to come in. Next up, we have the old dash panel. One neat thing is this right here. It actually says OMC on it. OMC Accessories. That's really neat, because this is an aftermarket gauge cluster. It's not come originally from OMC, but they put their own speedometer in. So to take it off, we take these end caps off. One on each side, like so. These just hold it on and make it look cool. Because this is an interchangeable set. You can have one piece, you can have 2, 3. Most I've ever seen is 7. I mean, they got tachometers, speedometers, heat gauges, trim pumps, everything you can think of in these, even compasses. So you can have as many or as few as you want, so they made these end caps. It's an extremely modular design, which is really neat. This one, of course, has just got the 3. Now, once you get the end caps off, there's these 2 screws here, but these are the ones actually holding the tack on. Then next, you'll see on the right here, They won't come off. So that's because there's screws on the right side over here holding them in. Each one clips into the one next to it to make it nice and solid all the way through. So I'm going to pull this one off, those two screws there, get the next one off, and so on. Here's a better look of the gauge cluster tack. This is this one. It's the OMC, and there's the tack. It's really nice because it's just a clear plastic. You can see right through it. OMC then put their own in here that said OMC accessories. You can get Mercruiser, you can get Mercury, Evinrude, I suspect as well. Whatever brand you wanted in here. It's just so cool. Now these old boats, they all have aluminum trim like this. Or pretty near all of them. One thing I like doing on this channel is also recycling the aluminum before it goes into the scrapyard. Also the copper, there's not a lot there, but a couple dollars worth. But it's less about the money and more just keeping that stuff out of the landfill. And that's it. Got all the useful pieces and parts off this boat that I think I can sell. There's a few pieces and parts still on there that might be worth $1 or $2, but I've not had good luck selling them. Here's all those small stuff I took off the boat. The cool dash panel, an extra speedometer, vintage looking step pads with the lines on them. Match these pretty closely. Shift control that actually still functions. A gas tank, and an old life jacket. Now from past experience, this stuff on the table here is going to be about $125 in value. This stuff's going to go up on eBay. It may take a couple months to sell, but it will sell. Someone's going to want this vintage stuff for their boat. Outdrive's worth about 50 bucks. Engine I'm going to sell for 50, and this trailer 200 bucks all day long. These are values that I'm very realistically can sell them for. I've sold them in the past. So all told, not bad for a free boat. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.